And we are live from St. Louis, Missouri. It's cold up here. I have got spoiled in Florida. So spoiled. The weather down there is so nice all the time. And it's just gorgeous. I come up here to Missouri, not so gorgeous, at least not in the mornings. Now, let's jump right in here. Now, there's a legend among us, and his name is Michael Saylor. Now, Michael Saylor is a close friend of the CEO of another company that is called NYDIG. My friends, I know some of the clients up in New York. I'm just going to play this for you real quick. Hold, please.
Executive Chairman Michael Saylor, along with our own Morgan Brennan. Michael, it's always good to have you. So you don't think you have enough exposure? You have, what, 158,000 Bitcoin holdings in MicroStrategy? You want more?
You can never have too much Bitcoin. We're big Bitcoin bulls. Our thesis is that Bitcoin is digital property, but without the risks and liabilities of commercial real estate. It's a digital commodity without the risks and the liabilities of gold. It's a digital tech investment without the risks and the liabilities of big tech. And so we're bullish.
You know, it's funny. People sometimes forget that you're like an enterprise software company. And I noticed that you're doing some new partnerships on AI with Microsoft. And I wonder if that kind of good news gets overshadowed, or any kind of news about your fundamental business gets overshadowed by just being a proxy for Bitcoin.
We're really excited about our partnership with Microsoft and AI. We're the first BI company to put AI into our product line. And it provides great artificial intelligence boost to our business intelligence business. We're going to use it to grow the business by acquiring new customers. And also it's accelerating cloud adoption within our customer base.
Yeah, Michael, it's Morgan. And of course, that business also helps enable you to buy more Bitcoin. The fact that we have seen Bitcoin rally as strongly as it has over the past month, I mean, the SEC seems likely to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF after that key court loss. Does the introduction of an ETF help or hurt investor appetite for MicroStrategy specifically?
Well, I think it's going to help. It's going to accelerate adoption, and it's also going to accelerate institutional awareness and education efforts of Wall Street to teach the 99% of the investors that don't know about Bitcoin what it's all about. MicroStrategy is a differentiated offering. I think spot Bitcoin ETF is a great thing for investors, but we don't charge a fee. We use intelligent leverage, and we can generate a tax-deferred Bitcoin premium for our investors. So for people that are really long-term bulls on Bitcoin, we represent a pretty attractive option or alternative to a spot Bitcoin ETF.
Sounds like you think MicroStrategy as a stock is going to continue to command a Bitcoin-related premium then?
Well, if you're not charging a fee and you're generating a premium and you're holding it over the long term, then one would think that it'll be valued at a premium versus the underlying asset.
Michael, Bob Pisani here. Bitcoin is going to be having a halving next year. That's a rare event. Can you sort of educate the viewers on what happens when that occurs and what, if any, effect that'll have on Bitcoin's price?
Well, most of the natural sellers of Bitcoin in the market right now are Bitcoin miners, and they have to sell to pay their electricity bill and their capital cost and retire their debt. That's about $1 billion a month worth of selling into the market. The protocol forces that to be cut in half as of about next April, late April. So you're going to see $12 billion of natural selling per year converted into $6 billion of natural selling a year, at the same time as things like spot Bitcoin ETFs increase the demand for Bitcoin. So that's why all of us are fairly bullish over the next 12 months. Demand's going to increase, supply is going to contract, and this is fairly unprecedented in the history of Wall Street.
Just to follow up on the Bitcoin ETF, can you sort of give us a sense of when you think, presumably you think the SEC is going to be forced to approve this? Can you give us a time scale on when this might happen?
Well, I think the Bloomberg analysts that cover this, they're of the opinion that it's highly likely to happen by early January. I think it'll happen when it happens. But long term, I guess the most important point to be made is institutions are adopting Bitcoin. It's highly likely that it will happen, if not by first quarter of next year, at some point in the coming 12 months. And we know the halving is coming. So if you've got a 12-month to 48-month time horizon, this is a pretty ideal entry point into the asset.
Michael, I want to ask you about another regulatory change that's afoot. The Financial Accounting Standards Board voted unanimously to adopt a new standard that's going to require businesses to use fair value accounting for Bitcoin and other crypto assets. This could be meaningful for MicroStrategy. You just reported a loss, an impairment loss tied to Bitcoin in your earnings last night. I think that number is now ballooned to more than $2 billion in impairment losses since you started holding Bitcoin on your balance sheet. Expecting more guidelines before the end of this year and then an implementation in 2025. What does this mean for MicroStrategy? What does this mean for companies more broadly? Does it make it more attractive to start to hold Bitcoin?
Long term, this is going to open the door for corporations to adopt Bitcoin as a treasury asset and create shareholder value with their balance sheets. I mean, the big dilemma in the market today is the Magnificent Seven. 7 companies are generating all the shareholder returns, and 7,000 companies are struggling to create shareholder value. MicroStrategy's secret is we're leveraging our balance sheet as well as our P&L. We've got more than $5 billion of assets on our balance sheet, and Bitcoin is growing at 3 or 4 times the cost of capital. So imagine what happens if other companies are able to use their balance sheets as assets instead of liabilities. Right now, the existing accounting, it favors using credit and sovereign debt, and the after-tax yield of credit isn't keeping up with cost of capital. And the result is most corporations pursue dilutive strategies of acquisitions, share buybacks, dividends, which are taxable, and they can't really hold billions and billions of dollars of capital and beat the cost of capital and generate shareholder returns. So this FASB accounting allows you to mark up and down the asset. It allows you to recognize investor gains. You know, if Berkshire Hathaway didn't have Apple, it wouldn't be a winning stock, but it's not practical for 1,000 companies to hold Apple stock as a treasury reserve asset. It is practical for them to start buying Bitcoin, and FASB's accounting opens the door for that.
But you know, they're just so, I know you're not a stranger to some of the Bitcoin criticisms, but Michael, even lately, we're seeing Sam Bankman-Fried on trial for fraud. Of course, you're seeing Israel cracking down on some Binance accounts related to Hamas. I mean, there are still bad and dark applications of this cryptocurrency. And I wonder if you just think institutional investors are done. They think of it as a method for terrorist financing or just for fraud.
I think that the liabilities are the early crypto cowboys, the crypto tokens, the unregistered securities, the unreliable crypto custodians. For the industry to move to the next level, we need to migrate to adult supervision. We're going to need big banks to become the crypto custodians. We're going to need Wall Street to take a role. And we need to rationalize away from the 100,000 crypto tokens, you know, yo-yo coins that people are manipulating, to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is an asset without an issuer. It is the one universally recognized protocol that's a commodity in the space. So when banks on Wall Street and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin and the industry takes its eyes away from all of the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here.
Michael Saylor, thanks for coming on to talk about it. Always with the bull
Thanks
case.
for having me.
See, I'll tell you what. I've actually been in this environment. I've actually been in, Bitcoin for about 7 years, going on 8 years now. And the thing I've noticed is everyone is waiting for that big jump. Oh my God, I'm not gonna get into it until I'm for sure that people are making money in it. I heard that whenever Bitcoin was like $500. I heard it when it was $5,000. All right. I heard it when it was $15,000. I heard it when it was $25,000. I heard it when it was $65,000. I'll get into it when people really start making money with it. What they miss is you're not going to make money in it until you get into it and you get involved. And we have so much good news. Oh yeah, Jay Snip is selling at 38K. Yes, I did hear about that. That's fine. That's his choice. Do I agree? No. But I'm not a swing. Like, I don't sell any Bitcoin. I only accumulate Bitcoin. I'm not looking to actually, people are looking at it like, oh, if I sell my Bitcoin here, I get more dollars. See, I'm the opposite. I don't want any dollars. I want more Bitcoin. All right. I don't want anything to do with the US dollar. It's garbage. It's this whole idea of, man, I'm going to make a lot more dollars. But you're selling something worth more than the dollars you're getting for it. There are going to be people And there's already people out there who are like, this is the money of the future. In the future, if you own one friggin' Bitcoin, you're gonna be wealthy. And I mean wealthy. So why, I guess I don't understand why you would risk selling something that you know is going to be so much more valuable in the future, hoping that you can play some type of swing trade. You already have a certain amount. Just add to it. Hey, but let Snippy be Snippy, man. Let Snippy be Snippy. Now, let's look at something else over here, right? What is that? Here we go. Let me add here, put it here. All right. $4.5 trillion Fidelity director says Bitcoin's risk reward is in a different universe. The amount of risk is this. The amount of reward is this. Your risk to historical reward is giant with Bitcoin. You have this much risk, that much risk, and your reward is huge. Nikki D says, will Bitcoin go well beyond 1 million? Absolutely. Absolutely. I can remember doing shows whenever I think, last year, I think like Bitcoin hit $1,000. And everyone was like, oh my God, just think someday the Bitcoin will hit $20,000. Think about that. Wow. Folks, once we break $100,000 per Bitcoin, which we will easily actually hit that, no problem. That's a given, right? Once we hit $100,000, the next psychological level is $1 million. So everyone who's like, oh, Bitcoin will never hit $100,000. Those are the same people that used to say, oh, Bitcoin will never hit $1,000. It'll never hit $5,000. There's no way it will ever hit $20,000. And every one of them have been wrong because they don't understand it. It isn't that they're stupid. It's just they don't do the research. I'm wearing this shirt today. Number one, it's cold outside, so I'm not wearing a Hawaiian shirt and freezing my ass off. But number two, most of my companies I own, I'm now up to 12. Right? I own 12 different companies. The majority of them and the majority of the clients I service pay me in Bitcoin. If you want to work with me, you pay me in Bitcoin. And eventually, all of my companies will pay me in Bitcoin. And that's what I want. I don't want any dollars because then I gotta sell the dollars and get more Bitcoin. I'd rather just have them do it and then pay me in Bitcoin. Voila. It's how the future's gonna go, folks. It's just how it is. It isn't my opinion that Bitcoin will hit, $1 million. It isn't my opinion. It will hit $1 million. It's in the code. All right? It's like writing an email and then you hit send. The code in the email makes sure the email goes to where it's supposed to go. It's the exact same thing with Bitcoin. The code makes sure that the Bitcoin will hit $1 million a coin. That's it. So when you write an email and you hit send, you shouldn't really be surprised when the other person receives it. It's exactly like Bitcoin. When it hits $1 million of Bitcoin, will I be surprised? No. It's like the sun rising. Am I surprised? No. It's happened over and over and over and over and over again. I don't worry about it. I just try and get more friggin' Bitcoin before that happens. And that's how I've always looked at it. When I initially got into the Bitcoin, I looked at the code, I understood it, and I said, well, yeah, of course I'm going to buy this. It's going to go up. And then I did. And it went up. And it went up. and it went up, and it went up, and it went up. That's it. Now it will continue to go up and up and up and up and up and up. So I don't worry about it. It's like worrying about the sun rising. Oh, the sun rose. Yep, kind of playing on that. All right, hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
Ho, 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 hodl. CALIX Solutions created Liberty laptops with the intent of securing your online experience from data leaks and unwanted tracking of your personal data. There has never been a more critical time for protecting your online presence than now. Take a moment to see what the Liberty laptops provide. The Liberty laptop is the smartest way to interact with the world. Enjoy a profound sense of security while surfing the web through safe and anonymous web browsing. Worried about your personal information leaking to data brokers and hackers? With the Liberty laptop, you can shop at your favorite online retailers and listen to your favorite online music and even interact with social media without exposing your data to corporations and governments. At CALIX Solutions, we arrange and modify your laptop so that the operating system does not track or trace your every online movement. We use our proprietary modification methods to secure your Liberty laptop and provide information on recommended software that you use for your online security. Once you receive your Liberty laptop, you will be able to maneuver online more securely and safely. In today's world, you have to protect your identity at every level of life. Online is no longer safe and anonymous. With the Liberty laptop, you can finally interact with the internet without giving up your privacy. Welcome to the new way of being online. Brought to you by CALIX Solutions. Go to calixsolutions.io, call or text 702-845-8276 or email info@calixsolutions.io. Merry Christmas and remember to hodl the holidays.
See, the problem with humanity is that the majority of us are unsure of themselves. So it's easy for someone who frightens us, right? I, myself, I'm not like that. I can't really think of anything I'm afraid of. Like, I don't worry about anything. I never assume that I'm wrong because I know me. I'm not going to say something or I'm not going to do something that will put myself at risk. So I don't worry about it. And a lot of humans, they don't have that level of self-trust where if they're holding their actual Bitcoin and they're like, oh, I got me some Bitcoin. Oh, I got me some Bitcoin. But then they see something on YouTube or on like TV or something like that. Oh, then they start to think, oh, I don't know. They said something different than what I thought. Well, if you've actually done your research, then you're fine. The only one you have to worry about is you. And I trust me fully. That's a trait that I share with Trump. When Trump was first elected, they said, "Are you going to listen to your advisors?" And he said, "Well, yeah, of course." And they're like, "Are you going to do what they tell you?" And he said, "If they're right, yeah." "Well, are you going to trust that they're right?" And he said, "No, I'm not going to trust that they're right. I'm going to make the decision. Now, I'll listen to what they say, but I'm not going to automatically go, well, they're the experts," because experts have agendas just like everyone else does. So I don't listen to experts. What I do is I educate myself, then I trust myself. I don't trust experts. And that's how I've always been. There's not too many people that I trust enough to actually give them authority over my choices. In fact, there's no one except me and God. Other than that, I run with it. And it has done me well my whole life. The moment I screw myself, then I'll be worried. But until then, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, I think I got one more. Yep, here we go. All right. Now, breaking news. The SEC set to greenlight spot Bitcoin applications, plural, all at once by the end of the month, according to Valkyrie's senior executive. Now, this is not me saying it. This is not someone not involved in it. All right. This is Valkyrie's, one of the companies that has the ETF application in. This is their senior vice president saying, yep, it will be approved by the end of the month. That guy is not going to risk his reputation saying that without knowing it. Oh, yeah. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel. Now, for those of you, for my woo-woo friends, I did some research last night, and I've come up with something that I've never heard anyone else talk about. Grounding yourself while you sleep. While you sleep, All right, grounding yourself. So I did some research. I think that's why we age. We age because we no longer are grounded. All right, let me explain it real quick. All right, when you're grounded, when you plant your feet on the ground and you are grounded, what that is doing is that's putting your frequency in harmony with the earth. Have you ever wondered why humans have to sleep? Why do we have to sleep if we have food? An engine, as long as it has gasoline, will run, and it'll run and run and run. Why aren't humans like that? Because humans have to reset their harmony at night. All right? We have to reset our harmony with the collective conscious. Now, with sleeping, the only time you heal is when you're sleeping. That's it. You will not heal unless you're sleeping. Now, you will not heal unless you're sleeping. But the reason we age is because of these little things on the end of our DNA that are called telomeres. The reason that telomeres shrink, we age, is that the healing process requires a certain amount of energy, and the energies needed to lengthen your telomere have to be new sources of energy that are grounded. So, my theory is this: we age because we are no longer grounded as we sleep. We sleep on a bed, and we are not laying on the ground anymore. We are grounded to the earth. So when we sleep, our consciousness harmonizes with the collective consciousness, but our physical body does not fully harmonize with the earth. I'm going to run a couple of tests next week, and I'm going to see what happens. I think I know exactly what's going to happen. I think that sleeping on the ground or being grounded while you sleep allows you to fully shut off your physical body so that the frequency of the earth will heal you. The new energies from the earth will heal you. Remember the old wives' tale that a vampire has to sleep in a coffin in the dirt of Transylvania, or he or she will age. They have to be laying in the dirt. That's the key. I think that we have to be grounded to the earth to fully heal. I'll keep you guys updated. And if you want to get my woo-woo shows, click the link under here for the private server, and you'll get all of my woo-woo shows. All right, guys and gals, I gotta run. I have to go to the doctor's office today. My primary care doctor is here in St. Louis. So while I'm here, my wife always schedules me a doctor's appointment. God bless her. I love her. She's the only reason that I go to the doctor. Because every time I go, they weigh me, they check my height, they check my blood, they check my blood pressure, they check all this shit, and I'm always perfect. There hasn't been one time that I haven't had perfect numbers. And I mean perfect. My friggin' doctor hates me because she's like, Ben, you smoke, you drink, you're overweight, and you don't exercise. You should be a pile of shit. But you are the healthiest fucking person I've ever seen who lives your lifestyle. My lungs are clear as day. My heart, strong as a horse. Everything they tell me that the doctors and medicine, everything they tell me I should be having problems with, I don't. Why? Why is it that I'm healthy, but yet every time that, like, all right, my wife goes to the gym, she exercises, she eats right, she does everything the doctors tell her to do. And according to doctors, oh, she's just, oh man, you really gotta watch this. You really gotta watch that. You really gotta watch that. But her numbers have stayed the same. They haven't like gotten worse. They haven't gotten better. But according to the normals, Well, your number should be here. Why? Well, because that's the human average, right? Well, my number's up here, and it's been up here forever. Maybe up here is my normal. Why do the doctors examine you and compare you to someone else or the average of somewhere else? Someone else. That's why the medical system is bullshit. Just like the climate. We're all going to die of global warming. Really? No shit. Huh. Yes, the average Earth temperature should be this. Well, what is it? Well, it's this. Have we ever seen it that low? No. Then why do we want it to go that low? Well, because we feel that over the Earth's history of billions of years, the average was here. But right now, we're slightly above that. Okay. Well, if this is an average meaning sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's under there. The average would be the middle of that, right? Yeah. Why are we worried that it's slightly above that? Well, because we have to bring it down to the average. Doesn't the fact that it has an average show us that it will gradually probably get there again? That's why in the 1970s, they were like, oh, we're going into an ice age. And then the temperature started rising. And they're like, oh, hang on a second. We're going into global warming. And now it's cooling off again. And they're like, we've got to stop climate change. Let's remove the word climate and replace it with anything else. Number one, we have to remove heartbeat change. What? Well, sometimes your heart actually beats at a higher rate. Sometimes it beats at a lower rate. We need to eliminate heartbeat change. Okay. We need to eliminate flavor change. Sometimes things are saltier than they should be. And sometimes they need more salt. We need to get rid of salt change, flavor change. What? Once you break it down, you realize all these people are full of shit. They're all full of shit. Let me tell you this. Do this. Go to a mechanic. Take your car to the mechanic and let them look at it. And just walk in there and go, hey, I want you to look at my car and see if there's anything wrong with it. Do you think the mechanic who pays money to advertise to get people in to his place is going to look at your car and go, not a damn thing I can do for it? There's no way of me making money off your car. Nothing. Perfect. Windshield wipers. Everything's perfect. You go right ahead. You go have a nice day. Your car is absolutely perfect. Now, the auto mechanic's going to come back with about 2 or 3 things. Well, I recommend this, this, and this. Oh, well, shit. You're the expert. Let's get those done. Why do you think automobile places like Firestone, come on in, we'll give you a 101 free inspection? Why do they say, we recommend you go see your doctor at least once a year? But what if I feel fine? Well, you may feel fine, but the expert may find something. Folks, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Global warming, healthcare, insurance, everything. Everything's bullshit. It's everyone else trying to convince you that you need their knowledge. You need something. You don't know you need it, but you need it. It's the way of the world, folks. Okay, I gotta run. Everyone, have a great day, and I will see you guys on Monday. Love you guys. Wish me well at the wedding this weekend. Hopefully, they have an open bar. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. I'm off to, see you on Monday. I'm off to the doctor's office to have them tell me that my numbers are fine, and I'm perfectly fine, but I should quit smoking, lose weight, don't drink, don't eat the food I love. But you're good. Love you guys. Bye-bye.